everyone, welcome to SAM course in Microbial Technology. Myself Nitu Das, Assistant Professor in Microbiology. Today we will discuss on the topic replication of eukaryotes. In previous lecture, we have learned DNA replication in prokaryotes, in which we have covered introduction to prokaryotic genome, DNA structure, DNA replication, enzymes and proteins involved in DNA replication, their mechanism and fidelity of replication. First of all, we will see what is eukaryotes. Eukaryotes are an organisms that consist of a cell or cells in which the genetic material is DNA in the form of chromosomes contained within a distinct nucleus. Eukaryotes include all living organisms other than eubacteria and archaea. These living organisms are developed and they may be uni or multicellular organisms that have double membranous cell organelles such as nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, etc., which are present in cytoplasm. The eukaryotes constitute the domain of eukaryota or eukarya, where organisms whose cells have a membrane bound nucleus. All animals, plants, fungi and many unicellular organisms such as yeast are eukaryotes. They constitute a major group of life forms alongside the two groups of prokaryotes such as bacteria and the archaea. Eukaryotes can reproduce both asexually through mitosis and sexually through meiosis and gamete fusion. Eukaryotic cells are typically much larger than prokaryotes, having a volume of around 10,000 times greater. Eukaryotic cells have a variety of internal membrane bound structures called cell organelles and a cytoskeleton which defines the cell's organization and shape. The nucleus stores the cell's DNA, which is divided into linear bundles called chromosomes. These are separated into two matching sets by a microtubular spindle during nuclear division in the distinctively eukaryotic process of mitosis. Chromosomes contain long strands of DNA containing genetic information. Compared to the prokaryotic chromosomes, eukaryotic chromosomes are much larger in size and are linear chromosomes. Eukaryotic chromosomes are also stored in the cell nucleus, while chromosomes of prokaryotic cells are not stored in a nucleus. Let us come to chromosome of eukaryotes. Eukaryotic chromosomes require a higher level of packaging to condense the DNA molecules into the cell nucleus because of the larger amount of DNA. This level of packaging includes the wrapping of DNA around proteins called histones in order to form condensed nucleosomes. Each chromosome consists enormously long linear DNA molecule associated with proteins that fold and pack the fine thread of DNA into a more compact structure. The nucleosome is the basic unit of DNA condensation and consists of a DNA double helix bound to an octamer of core histones that are dimers of H2A and H2B and H3 or H4 tetramer. About 147 base pairs of DNA coil around one octamer and approximately 20 base pairs are sequestered by the addition of the linker histone H1 and various length of linker DNA. Approximately 100 base pairs separate the nucleosomes. The spacing of the nucleosomes along DNA results in a beads on a string appearance. Histone modification controls the accessibility to DNA. Histone acetyltransferase acetylate residues on the histone tail leading to increased accessibility to DNA. Let us discuss the reproduction of eukaryotes. Eukaryotes have a life cycle that involves sexual reproduction, alternating between a haploid phase where only one copy of each chromosome is present in each cell and a diploid phase with two copies of each chromosome in each cell. The diploid phase is formed by fusion of two haploid gametes such as eggs and spermatozoa to form a zygote. This may grow into a body with its cell dividing by mitosis and at some stage produce haploid gametes through meiosis, a division that reduces the number of chromosomes and creates genetic variability. There is considerable variation in this pattern. Plants have both haploid and diploid multicellular phases. Eukaryotes have lower metabolic rates and longer generation time than prokaryotes because they are larger and therefore have a smaller surface area to volume ratio. Now come to packaging of DNA in eukaryotes. The most basic level of DNA condensation is the wrapping of DNA around the histone core proteins. Higher order packaging is accomplished by specialized proteins that bind and force the DNA. This generates a series of loops and coils that provide increasingly higher levels of organization and prevent the DNA from becoming tangled and unmanageable. These complexes of DNA and proteins are called chromatin. But in addition to proteins involved with packaging, chromosomes are associated with proteins involved with DNA replication, DNA repair and gene expression. Let us see cell division in eukaryotes. In eukaryotes, the cell cycle is more complex and consists of 4 discrete phases. Although cell growth is usually a continuous process, DNA is synthesized during only one phase of the cell cycle and the replicated chromosomes are then distributed to daughter nuclei by a complex series of events preceding cell division. Progression between these stages of the cell cycle is controlled by a conserved regulatory apparatus which not only coordinates the different events of the cell cycle but also links the cell cycle with extracellular signals that control cell proliferation. The cell cycle is divided into 2 basic parts. First is mitosis and interphase. Mitosis is the most dramatic stage of the cell cycle, corresponding to the separation of daughter chromosomes and usually ending with cell division by cytokinesis. However, mitosis and cytokinesis last only about an hour, so approximately 95% of the cell cycle is spent in interphase, the period between mitosis. During interphase, the chromosomes are decondensed and distributed throughout the nucleus, so the nucleus appears morphologically uniform. At the molecular level, however, interphase is the time during which both cell growth and DNA replication occur in an orderly manner in preparation for cell division. The cell grows at a steady rate throughout interphase, with most dividing cells doubling in size between one mitosis and the next. In contrast, DNA is synthesized during only a portion of interphase. The timing of DNA synthesis thus divides the cell of eukaryote cells into 4 discrete phases. The M phase of the cell cycle corresponds to mitosis, which is usually followed by cytokinesis. This phase is followed by the G1 phase or gap phase, which correspond the interval between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication. During gap 1 phase, the cell is metabolically active and continuously grow but does not replicate its DNA. Gap 1 phase is followed by synthesis phase, during which DNA replication takes place. The completion of DNA synthesis is followed by the G2 phase, or we can say gap 2 phase, during which cell growth continues and proteins are synthesized in preparation for mitosis. This figure shows the phases of the cell cycle, where we can see the division cycle of most eukaryotic cells is divided into 4 discrete phases: M, G1, S and G2 phase. M phase is usually followed by cytokinesis. S phase is the period during which DNA replication occurs. The cell grows throughout interphase, which includes G1, S and G2 phase. The relative lengths of the cell cycle phases shown here are typical of rapidly replicating mammalian cells. Let us discuss what is genome. A complete set of genetic material of an organism is called genome. Every living organism has a genome and it is made up of DNA, or in case of virus it is made up of RNA or DNA. The eukaryotic genome is large and complex and is 3 into 10 raised to the power 9 base pairs long, but it is typically replicated within few hours because they are used thousands of replication origins. Now let us know where and when replication occur. Eukaryotic DNA replication is conserved and complex process and restricted to once per cell cycle. This process is central and necessary mechanism for duplication and maintenance of a genome in eukaryotic cells. It occurs during synthesis phase of interphase in cell cycle of living tissues of an organisms. After cell cycle, one copy of genome is segregated into daughter cell at the mitosis phase. In eukaryotes, DNA replicates same as prokaryotes by semi-conservative method, in which daughter copies of genome contains one strand from parental DNA and one newly synthesized DNA strand. Eukaryotes having a multiple autonomously replicating sequence, so it is called as multi-repliconic genome. The total number of autonomously replicating sequence in yeast is at least 1600, but it may be more than 5000. Human genome has 30,000 origin of replication, and as such all eukaryotes have thousands of origin in their genome. This origin site is rich of adenine and thymine base pairs. At these origin sites, replication starts. This figure shows eukaryotic genome that have multiple origin sites for initiation of replication. This is the list of protein and enzymes required for replication. DNA replication in eukaryotes is highly regulated process and usually requires extracellular signals to coordinate the cell divisions in different tissues of multicellular organisms. External signals are delivered to cells during the G1 phase of the cell cycle and activate the synthesis of cyclins. These cyclins form complexes with cyclin dependent kinases CDK, which in turn stimulate the synthesis of synthesis phase proteins such as DNA polymerases and thymidylate synthetase, etc. These complexes prepare cells for DNA replication during the synthesis phase. Let us know about initiation of DNA replication in eukaryotes begins with the binding of the origin recognition complex to origins of replication during the G1 phase of the cell cycle. It is a multi-subunit DNA binding complex that binds in all eukaryotes. It is ATP dependent complex and central component of eukaryotic DNA replication. The origin recognition complex then serves as a platform for forming much more complicated pre-replicative complexes. Assembly of the replication complex binds with origin recognition complex protein on adenine thymine rich origin points. Then cell division cycle 6 protein binds, followed by binding of DNA replication factor CDT1 protein. DNA replication factor facilitates binding of mini chromosome maintenance protein 227 on DNA. So, formation of pre-replication complex involves the assembly of cell division cycle 6 protein, DNA replication factor CDT1 protein, mini chromosome maintenance complex 227 protein and other proteins. The origin recognition complex, cell division cycle 6 protein, DNA replication factor CDT1 protein, mini chromosome maintenance complex, intermediate structure formed. After the loading of first DNA replication factor 1 and mini chromosome maintenance protein 2 to 7 heptamer, that indicates the mini chromosome maintenance 2 to 7 complex firmly anchor onto surface around origin. The loading of mini chromosome maintenance 2 to 7 proteins onto DNA requires ATP hydrolysis by both origin recognition complex 1 to 6 and cell division cycle 6 proteins. This process is known as replication licensing. Further, pre-replicative complexes formed during the G1 phase are converted to the initiation complex during cell division transition from G1 to synthesis phase by the action of two kinases, cyclin dependent kinases CDK and DBF4 dependent kinases DDK. In this stage, inert pre-replicative complexes convert into active complexes that is capable to assemble two bidirectional replisomes and ensures that replication only occurs one time in each cell cycle. Let us know how DNA unwinding and replication work formation. In early synthesis phase, the pre-replication complex is activated for DNA unwinding by the cyclin dependent kinase and DBF4 kinase protein. This facilitates the loading of additional replication factors and unwinding of the DNA at origin. Upon entry into synthesis phase, the activity of the cyclin dependent kinase and the DBF4 dependent kinase promotes the assembly of replication forks. Let us discuss about mini chromosome maintenance proteins. The mini chromosome maintenance protein complexes consist of 6 proteins, that is mini chromosome maintenance protein 2 to mini chromosome maintenance protein 7 that form a hexameric ring around the DNA. DBF4 kinase protein independently interact with mini chromosome maintenance protein and break the two rings. The sequential phosphorylation occurs of mini chromosome maintenance protein 4, 2 and 6. First, the mini chromosome maintenance protein assemblies in the pre-replication complex are phosphorylated by cyclin dependent kinase. This promotes the binding of cell division cycle 45 protein and the SLD proteins. Cyclin dependent kinase next activates SLD2 and SLD3 by adding phosphates. This enables the genes complex to bind. The gene complex is named after its 4 proteins GO, ICHI, NI and SEN. The genes complex is needed for the mini chromosome maintenance helicase to operate. After activation, mini chromosome maintenance protein acts as a helicase to unwind the double helix and thus is equivalent to the bacterial helicase DNA B protein. 2 mini chromosome maintenance protein assemblies are loaded in the pre-replication complex. This step is also referred to as licensing the origin. Finally, mini chromosomal maintenance 10 protein binds and the assemblage separates into 2 replication complexes or replisomes that proceed in opposite direction from the origin. Each replisome contains 1 mini chromosome maintenance helicase complex that moves along the helix in a 3' to 5' direction. Unwinding the 2 strands of DNA, DNA polymerase also joins at this stage. Let us discuss the role of cell division cycle 45 protein. Cell division cycle 45 protein plays important role in loading of DNA polymerase alpha, replication protein A, DNA polymerase epsilon, proliferating cell nuclear antigen onto chromosome. It also plays important role in unwinding of DNA and initiation of DNA replication. Cell division cycle protein 45 is essential for initiation and elongation for the movement of replication fork and unwinding of DNA. Let us come to the role of DNA polymerase enzyme. Cell division cycle 45 proteins then recruits replicative DNA polymerase alpha and its primase. DNA replication then begins. DNA polymerase alpha complex is an important enzyme. It consists of 4 subunits: pol A1, pol A2, prime 1 and prime 2. It has limited processivity and lacks 3' exonuclease activity for proofreading errors. So, it is not efficiently and accurately suited to copy long templates. Its catalytic subunit is pol A1, regulatory subunit is pol A2, a small subunit is prime 1 and large subunit is prime 2. Once polymerase alpha or primase has created the primer, polymerase alpha starts replication and elongating the primer with 20 nucleotides. The DNA polymerase alpha primase complex synthesizes the first primer. It initiates DNA replication on the leading strand and Okazaki fragments on the lagging strand. Eukaryotic DNA primase initiates the synthesis of all new DNA strands by synthesizing short RNA oligomers on single stranded DNA. It also helps in repair and maintenance of telomere and chromosome stability. During synthesis phase, cell division cycle 6 protein and DNA replication factor CDT1 are degraded or inactivated to block additional pre-replicative complex formation. When the replication fork encounters lesions in the DNA, the synthesis phase checkpoint responds slowly or stops replication fork progression and stabilizes the association of mini chromosome maintenance complex 2 to 7 proteins with the replication fork during DNA repair. Other important enzyme is DNA polymerase epsilon found in eukaryotes. It is composed of 4 subunits: pol E, pol E2, pol E3 and pol E4. These enzymes play a major role in leading strand DNA synthesis and nucleotide and base excision repair. DNA polymerase delta is another important enzyme complex that is involved in DNA replication and repair. This enzyme is used for synthesis of discontinuous 100 to 200 nucleotides long lagging strand that is called Okazaki fragment. It exhibits increased processivity when interacting with the proliferating cell nuclear antigen. Polymerase delta is the major polymerase in leading strand synthesis. Both polymerases delta and epsilon are the major polymerases in lagging strand synthesis. This is similar to the DNA polymerase 1 and 3rd in the lagging strand synthesis of prokaryotes. In eukaryotes, Okazaki fragments generated during lagging strand synthesis are shorter up to 200 bases than those in Escherichia coli. Let us know how RNA primer is removed. RNA primers need to be replaced with DNA and nicks in the sugar phosphate backbone need to be connected. The enzymes FLAP endonuclease 1 and RNase H remove RNA primers at the start of leading strand and at the start of each Okazaki fragment. Once the primers are removed, a free floating DNA polymerase lands at the 3' of preceding DNA fragment and extend the DNA over the gap. In the final stage of DNA replication, the enzyme ligase joins the sugar phosphate backbone at each nick site. After ligase has connected all nicks, the new strand is one long continuous DNA strand and daughter DNA molecule is completed. As we know, two structural features of eukaryotic DNA that are different from prokaryotic DNA are the presence of histone complexes and telomere structures. During DNA replication, the histone complex of nucleosomes are separated. The leading strand retains the old histones. The lagging strand remains free of histone complexes while new histones are made and assembled. Since histones have greater affinity for double-stranded DNA, newly synthesized histone octamers are quickly added as the lagging strand is polymerized. Since DNA in eukaryotic chromosomes is a linear molecule, problems arise when replication comes to the ends of the DNA. Synthesis of the lagging strand at each end of the DNA requires a primer so that replication can proceed in a 5' to 3' direction. Thus, at each mitosis of a somatic cell, the DNA in its chromosomes becomes shorter and shorter. Therefore, to prevent the loss of essential genetic information during replication, the ends of DNA in chromosomes contain special structure called telomeres. Now, let us see the structure of human telomere. Human telomeres are repeated end sequences of multiple numbers of thymine, thymine, adenine, guanine, guanine, guanine and have typical sizes of 15 to 20 kilobases at birth. At each round of DNA replication, the telomere sequences of eukaryotic chromosomes are shortened in normal somatic cells and the number of DNA replication or cell division is linked to the timing of cell death. So, eukaryotic cell must have evolved a mechanism for replicating their telomeres. Telomerase enzyme is the solution of this end replication problem in eukaryotes. Germline and cancer cells contain enzymes called telomerase to extend the 5' end of lagging strands. The extension of telomere sequences by telomerase contributes to their immortality. Human telomerase is a reverse transcriptase that contains a short stretch of RNA sequence adenine, uracil, cytosine, 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 adenine, adenine, uracil and cytosine. This short stretch of RNA serves as a template for telomere extension and plays a major role in leading strand extension. When DNA replication is completed, telomerase binds to the 3' end of the leading strand. This establishes base pairing with the short stretch of RNA sequences that telomerase carries and adds a 6 nucleotide sequences guanine, guanine, thymine, thymine, adenine and guanine to the 3' end of the strand. After leading strand extension on the 3' end by the telomerase is completed, DNA polymerase alpha completes the extension of the 5' end of the lagging strand and DNA ligase seals the nick on the lagging strand left by DNA polymerase alpha enzyme. Let us come to the summary of this lecture. Eukaryotic DNA has many replicons and replication origins located in every 10 to 100 micrometer along the DNA. The replisome is a huge complex of proteins and is responsible for DNA replication. DNA polymerase enzyme catalyze the synthesis of DNA in the 5' to 3' direction while reading the DNA template in the 3' to 5' direction. The DNA double helix is unwound by mini chromosome maintenance 2 to 7 proteins. DNA polymerase alpha starts replication and elongating the primer with 20 nucleotides. DNA polymerase epsilon and delta synthesize leading and lagging strand respectively. primer have removed by RNase H enzyme, then ligase enzyme join the gaps of lagging strand. At the terminal part of eukaryotic chromosome, telomerase enzyme is responsible for repeating the ends of eukaryotic chromosome. For further study, we can refer books of molecular biology of the gene by Watson, Baker, Bell, Gann, Levin, and also microbiology by Prescott. Our next lecture will be gene expression. In this topic, we will discuss two processes, transcription and translation of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Thank you for watching this lecture. We will again meet in the next lecture.